gracious love hath so in me offended, that barefoot plod I the cold ground upon, with sainted vow, my faults to have amended. Right, that from the bloody course of war, my dearest master, your dear son may hide. Bless him home in peace, whilst I from far his name with zealous fervor sanctify. His taken labors, bid him me forgive. I, his despiteful Juno, sent him forth from courtly friends, with camping foes to live, where death and danger dogs the heels of worth. He is too good and fair for death and me, whom I myself embrace to set him free. What angel shall bless this unworthy husband? He cannot thrive unless her prayers, whom heaven delights to hear and loves to grant, reprieve him from the wrath of greatest justice. I'll write to this unworthy husband of his wife, and let every word weigh heavy of her worth that he does weigh too light. My greatest grief, though little he do feel it, I'll set down sharply. When happen he shall hear that she is gone, he will return. And hope I may that she, hearing so much, will speed her foot again led hither by pure love. Which of them both is dearest to me? I have no skill in sense to make distinction. My heart is heavy, and my age is weak. Grief would have tears, and sorrow bids me speak.
May come, for if they do approach the city, we shall lose all the sight.
They say the French Count has done most honorable service. It is reported that he has taken their greatest commander, and that with his own hand he slew the Duke's brother.
Well, Diana, take heed of this French earl. The honor of a maid is her name, and no legacy so rich as honesty. Yes, I know I have been solicited by a gentleman, his companion, and I know the name hang him, one Parolles, a filthy officer he is in those suggestions for the young earl. Beware of them, Diana. Their promises, enticements, oaths, tokens, and all their engines of lust are not the things they go under. Many a maid hath been seduced by them. I hope I need not advise you further, but I hope your grace will keep you where you are, though there were no further danger known, but the modesty which is so lost.
You shall not need to fear me.
I hope so. Look, here comes a pilgrim. I know she will lie at our house. They send one another. I'll question her. God save you, pilgrim. Whither are you bound?
To St. James the Grand. Where is the Palmer's lodge I do beseech you?
At the St. Francis, here beside the point.
Is this the way?
Aye, there it is. Carry up! Oh, sweet pilgrim, till the troops come. If you will tarry but till the troops come by, I will conduct you to where you shall be lodged. Or rather, I think I know the hostess, as well as myself.
Is it yourself?
If you shall believe so, pilgrim.
I thank you, and will stay upon your leisure.
You came, I think, from France.
I did so.
Here you will see a countryman of yours that has done worthy service.
His name, I pray,
The
is...
Count of Stillion. Know you such a one?
But by the ear that hears most nobly of him, his face I know not.
What the matter he is, he's bravely taken here. He stole from France. It is reported, for the Queen has married him against his liking. Think you it is so?
Aye, surely. Near the truth, I know his lady.
There's a gentleman who serves the Count of works but costly of her.
What's his name?
Monsieur Parolles.
Oh. I believe with him an argument of praise or to the worth of the great Count himself. She is too mean to have her name repeated.
Alas, poor lady. 'Tis hard bondage to become the wife of a detesting lord.
I right, good creature, wheresoever she is, her heart weighs sadly. This young maid might do her a shrewd turn if she pleased.
How do you mean? Maybe the amorous Count solicits her in the unlawful purpose?
He does indeed, and brokes with all that can in such a suit corrupt the tender honor of a maid. But she is hard for him, and keeps her guard in honestest defense. Here they come. That is the Duke.
Which is the Frenchman?
jackanapes with scarfs. Why is he melancholy?
Perchance he's heard of the battle.
Lose our drum? Well,
He shrewdly vexed at something. Oh, look, he spied us. Mary Payne.
A general of our horse thou art, and we, great in our hope, lay our best love and credence upon thy promising fortune.
sir, it is a charge too heavy for my strength. But yet we'll strive to bear it, for your worthy sake, to the extreme edge of heaven.
Then go thou forth, and fortune, play upon thy prosperous helm as thy auspicious mistress.
This very day, great Mars, I put myself into thy file. Make me but like my thoughts, and I shall prove lover of thy drum, hater of love.
The troop is past. Come, pilgrim, I will conduct you to where you shall be lodged.
I humbly thank you. Please that you and this gentleman to eat with me tonight. The charge and thanking shall be for me. And to requite you further, I will bestow some precepts of this virgin, worthy of a note.
We'll take your offer kindly.
Hip, hip, hooray! Hip, hip, hooray! Hip, hip, hooray! Nay, good my lord, put him to it. Let him have his way.
If your lordship finds him not a willing, hold me no more in your respect.
On my life, my lord, a bubble. Do you think I am so far deceived in him? Believe it, my lord, in my own direct knowledge, without any malice, but to speak of him as my kinsman. He's a most notable coward, an infinite and endless liar, an hourly promise breaker, the owner of no one good quality, worthy of your lordship's entertainment. I wish I knew in what particular action you try him.
None better than to let him fetch off his drum, which you hear him so confidently undertake to do.
I, with the troop of Florentines, will suddenly surprise him. Such I will have whom I am sure he knows not from the enemy. We will bind and hoodwink him so that he shall suppose no other but that he is carried into the linger of the adversaries when we bring him to our own tents. Be but your lordship present at his examination, if he do not in the highest compulsion of base fear offer to betray you and to deliver all the intelligence in his power against you, never trust my judgment in anything.
Oh, for the love of laughter, let him fetch his drum. He says he has a stratagem for it. When your lordship sees the bottom of the success in it, into what metal this counterfeit lump of ore will be melted. If your lordship gives him not John Thrum's entertainment, your binding cannot be removed. Here he comes.
Ah, now, monsieur, this drum sticks sorely in your disposition.
Oh, hawk on, let it go. 'Tis but a drum.
But a drum! Is but a drum? A drum so lost!
It was a disaster of war that Caesar himself could not have prevented.
Some dishonor we had in the loss of the drum, but it is not to be recovered. Oh, it might have been recovered. It might, but it is not now. Oh, it is to be recovered. But that the merit of service is seldom attributed to the true and exact performer. I would have that drum. If you have the stomach to it, monsieur. If you think your mystery and a stratagem can bring that instrument of honor back into his native quarter, be magnanimous in the enterprise and go on. If you speed well in it, the Duke shall both speak of it and extend to you what further extends his greatness, even to the utmost syllable of your worthiness. By the hand of a soldier, I will undertake it, but you must not now slumber in it. I will about it this evening. I will presently pen down my dilemmas, encourage myself in my certainty, and put myself into my mortal preparation. And by midnight, look to hear further from me. May I be bold to acquaint his grace you are gone about it. What the success will be, I know not. But the attempt, I vow. I know thou art valiant, and to the extent of thy soldiership were subscribed for thee. Farewell. I love not many words. No more than a fish loves water. Is not this a strange fellow, my lord, that so confidently seems to undertake this business, which he knows is not to be done, damns himself to do, and dares better be damned than to do it? Why, do you think he will make no deed at all of that which he so seriously addresses himself unto? None in the world, but return with an invention and clap upon you 2 or 3 probable lies. But we have almost embossed him. You shall see his fall tonight, for indeed, he is not for your lordship's respect.
We will make you some sport with the fox every case. With his disguise and here parted, tell me what a sprat you shall find.
I must go look to my twigs. He shall be caught. Your brother, he shall go along with me. As please your lordship. I'll leave you.
Now will I lead you to that house and show you that lass I spoke of?
But you say she's honest.
Ah, that's all her fault. I spoke with her but once and found her wondrous cold. But I sent to her by the same coxcomb that we have in the wind, tokens and letters, and that she did resend. And that is all that I've done. She's a fair creature. Will you go and see her?
With all my heart, my lord.
Though my estate be fallen, I was well born, nothing acquainted with these businesses, and would not put my reputation now in any staining act.
Nor would I wish you. First, give me trust. The Count, he is my husband, and what to thy sworn counsel I have spoken so from word to word.
I should believe you, for you have shown me that which both proves your great fortune.
Take this purse of gold, and let me buy thy friendly help, which I will overpay and pay again when I have found it. The Count, he woos your daughter, lays down his wanton siege before her beauty, resolved to carry her. Let her in fine consent, as will direct her how 'tis best to do it. Now his important blood will not deny what she'll demand. A ring the Count he wears, that downward in his house hath succeeded from son to son, some 4 or 5 descents since the first father bore it. This ring he holds in most rich choice. Yet in his idle fire to buy his will, it would not seem too dear, however repented after.
Now I see the bottom of your purpose.
You see it lawful then. It is no more but that your daughter, there she seems as one desires this ring, appoints him an encounter, in fine delivers me fill the time, herself most chastely absent. After, to marry her, I'll add 3,000 crowns to what is past already.
I have yielded. Instruct my daughter how she shall persever, that time and place with this deceit, so lawful, may prove coherent. Every night he comes with music of all sorts, and songs composed to her unworthiness, instead of not the chiding from our ease where persistence of his lightly on.
Why then tonight let us essay our plot, which at its speed is wicked meaning in a lawful deed, and lawful meaning in a lawful act. We're both not sin, and yet a sinful fact. But let's about it.
He shall come no other way but by this hedge corner. When you sally upon him, speak what terrible language you will. Though you understand it not yourselves, no matter. For we must not seem to understand him, unless someone among us whom we must produce for an interpreter.
Good captain! Let me be the interpreter.
Art not acquainted with him? Knows he not thy voice?
No, sir, I warrant you.
He must think us some band of strangers in the adversary's entertainment. Now, he hath a smack of all neighboring languages. Therefore, we must everyone be a man of his own fancy, not to know what we speak one to another. Gabble enough and good enough. As for you, interpreter, you must seem very politic. But couch, oh, here he comes!
Parolles!
And a cloth. Within these 3 hours, we'll be time enough to go home. What shall I say I have done? It must be a very plausive invention that carries it. What the devil should move me to undertake the recovery of this throne, being not ignorant of the impossibility, and knowing I had no such purpose? I must give myself some hurts, and say they were got in exploit. Yet small ones will not carry. They will say, came you off with so little? And great ones I dare not give. Son, I must put you into a butterwoman's mouth and buy another of Badger's mule if you prattle me into these perils.
Is it possible he should know what he is and me that he is?
Why, I would be. The tearing of my clothes would serve the turtle, or the breaking of my Spanish sword.
We cannot afford you so.
Or to drown my garments, and say I was stripped.
Hardly, sir.
And say I leapt from a window of the citadel.
How deep?
30 fathoms.
3 great oaks scarce make that be believed.
I would I had any drum of the enemy's. I would swear I had recovered it.
You shall hear one anon. Rogamu voces, cargo, cargo, cargo.
Do not hide my eyes! I know you are the Muscos regiment, and I shall lose my life for want of language. Oh. If there be here German or Dane, Low Dutch, Italian or French, let him speak to me. Sprechen Sie Deutsch? ¿Dónde está el baño? La plume du matin? I shall discover that which shall undo the Florentine.
Boscos Bobado. I understand thee and can speak thy tongue. Kenny Bonto! Sir, betake thee to thy faith, for 17 poniards are at thy bosom. Pray! Manca Renania, dulce.
Os corbidosos, volivorco.
The general is content to spare thee yet, and hoodwinked as thou art, will lead thee on to gather more from thee. Haply thou mayst inform something to save thy life.
Oh, Lord, sir, let me live, and all the secrets of our camp I'll show. Their number, their purpose, nay, I'll speak that which you'll wonder at.
But wilt thou faithfully?
If I do not, damn me.
Accordolinda. Come on. Thou art granted space.
Go tell the Count Basilian and my brother we have caught the woodcock and will keep him muffled till we do hear from him.
Captain, I will.
He will betray us all unto ourselves. Inform on that.
So I will, sir.
Till then, I'll keep him dark and safely locked.
They told me that your name was Fontibel.
No, my good Lord, Diana.
Titled goddess and worth it, with addition. But fair soul, and thou fine frame, has love no quality? When you are dead, you should be such a one as you are now, for you are cold and stern, and now you should be as your mother was when your sweet self was got.
She then was honest.
So should you be.
No, my mother did but duty, such, my lord, as you owe to your wife.
I know more of that. I was compelled to her, but I love thee by love's own sweet constraint, and will do thee all rights of service.
Aye, so you serve us till we serve you. But when you have our roses, you barely leave our thorns to prick ourselves and mock us in our fairness.
How have I sworn?
Tis not the many oaths that makes the truth, but the plain, single vow that is vowed true. What is not holy, that we swear not by, but take the highest to witness. Therefore your oaths are words, and poor conditions, but unsealed, at least in my opinion.
Well, change it, change it. Be not so wholly cruel. Love is holy, and my integrity ne'er knew the crafts that you do charge men with. Stand no more off, but give thyself unto my sick desires, who then recovers. Say thou art mine, and ever my love, as it begins, shall so persever.
Men may rope us in such a snare that we'll forsake ourselves. Give me that ring.
I'll lend it thee, my dear, but have no power to get it from thee.
Will you not, my lord?
It is an honor belonging to our household, bequeathed down from many ancestors, which were the greatest obloquy in the world and me to lose.
Mine honor is such a ring. My chastity is the jewel of our household, bequeathed down from many ancestors, which were the greatest obloquy in the world and me to lose. Thus your own proper wisdom brings in the champion honor on my part against your vain assault.
Here, take my ring. My house, mine honor, yea, my life be thine, and I'll be bid by thee.
When midnight comes, knock at my chamber window. And in order to take my father shall not hear. When you have conquered my yet maiden bed, then on your finger in the night I'll put another ring, that when time proceeds may token to the future our past deeds. Adieu till then fail not. You have won a wife of me, though there my hope be done.
A heaven on earth I have won by wooing thee.
My father told me just how he would woo as if he sat in his heart. He says all men have the like oaths. He has sworn to marry me when his wife's dead. Therefore, I'll lie with him when I am buried. Since Frenchmen are so brave, married at will, I live and die a maid.
There's something in it that seems his nature for all the reason. He changed almost into another man.
Yes, but for the blame laid on him for shaking off so good a wife and so sweet a lady.
Especially he hath incurred the everlasting displeasure of the queen, who had even turned her bounty to sing praises to him. I will tell you a thing, but you still let it dwell dark in you.
When you have spoken it, 'tis dead, and I am the grave of it.
He hath perverted a young gentlewoman here in Florence of most chaste renown, and this night fleshes his will in the spoil of her honor. He had given her his monumental ring, and himself made the unchaste composition.
Now God delay our rebellion. Is it not damnable in us to be trumpeters of our unlawful intents? We shall then not have his company tonight.
Not till after midnight, for he has died into his hour.
That approaches apace. I would gladly have him see his company anatomized.
Not with him to keep up, for his presence must be the whip of the other.
In the meantime, what hear you of these wars?
I hear there was an overture of peace.
Nay, I assure you, a peace concluded.
What will the Count Sicilian do then? Will he travel higher or return again to France?
I perceive by this demand you are not altogether of his counsel. Sir, his wife fled from his house. Her pretense is a pilgrimage to St. Jacques-le-Grand, which, wholly undertaking with most austere sanctimony, she accomplished. And there residing, the tenderness of her nature became as a prey to her grief. In fine, made a groan of her last breath. And now she sings in heaven.
Has the council this intelligence?
Aye, and the particular confirmations point from point to the full arming of the verity.
I'm heartily sorry. We'll be glad to hear of this. The great dignity that his valor has here acquired for himself at home be accounted with a shame as ample.
Our life is of a mingled yarn, good and ill together. Our virtues would be proud if our faults whipped them not, and our crimes would despair if they were not cherished by our virtues. Here's his lordship now. How now, my lord? It's not after midnight?
Sir, I have tonight dispatched 16 businesses, a month's length apiece. I have congeed with the Duke, done my due with his nearest, buried a wife, mourned for her, writ my lady mother I'm returning, entertained my convoy, and between these main parcels of dispatch, effected many nicer needs. The last was the greatest, but that I have not yet ended.
If the business be of any difficulty this morning your departure hence, it requires haste of your lordship.
I mean the business is not ended as fearing to hear of it hereafter. But shall we have this dialogue between the fool and the soldier? Come, bring forth. This counterfeit module has deceived me like a double-meaning prophesier.
Bring him forth. How does he carry himself? He weeps like a wench that had shed her milk. He had confessed himself to Morgan, whom he supposes to be a friar, from the time of his remembering to this very instant disaster.
Hush! Hush! What have we done? She calls for the tortures. What will you say would happen?
I will confess what I know without constraint. If you pinch me like a pasty, I can say no more.
Di morto. You are an unmerciful general. Our general bids you answer to what I shall ask you out of a note.
And truly, sir, as I hope to live.
First, demand of him how many horse the Duke is strong. What say you to that?
5,000 or 6,000, but very weak and unserviceable. The troops are all scattered, and the commanders but poor roads. Upon my reputation and my credit, and as I hope to live.
All's one to him. What a pass-saving slave he is. You are deceived, my lord. This is Monsieur Parolles, the gallant militant.
Shall I sit down and answer so?
5,000 or 6,000 horse, I say. I'll say truth. Or thereabouts, I say, for I will speak truth.
Well, that's set down.
Poor roads, I pray you say.
That's set down.
I humbly thank you, sir. And truth, true. The roads are marvelous poor.
Demand of him what strength they are afoot. What say you to that?
If I were to live this present hour, I will speak true. Let me see. Spurio, 150. Sebastian, so many. Corambus, so many. Jaquus, so many. Fulton, Cosmo, Lodowick, and Grotti, 250 each. My own company. Schiffer, Beaumont, Benty, 250 each. So that the muster file, button and sound, amounts not to 15,000 whole.
What shall be done to him?
Nothing. But let it have thanks. Demand of him my condition, what credit I have with the Duke. Well, that's set down. Demand of him whether one Captain Dumain be in the camp, a Frenchman, what his reputation is with the Duke, what his honor, valor, expertness in wars, what say you to this? What do you know of it?
I beseech you, let me answer to the particulars of the interrogatories. Demand them singly.
Do you know this Captain Dumain?
I know him. He was a botcher's apprentice in Paris, from whence he was whipped for getting the shrewd spool with child. A dumb innocent that could not say him nay.
Nay, by your leave, at your hand.
Well, is this captain in the Duke of Florence camp?
Upon my knowledge, he is. And lousy.
Nay, look not so upon me. We shall hear of your lordship anon.
What is his reputation with the Duke?
The Duke knows him for no other but a poor officer of mine. He written me this past week to turn him out of the band. I think I have the letter in my pocket.
Harry, we'll search. Here it is. Here's the letter. Shall I read it to you?
I do not know if it be it or no.
Our interpreter does it well. Excellent.
Dian, the Count's a fool and full of gold.
That is not the Duke's letter. That is an advertisement to a proper maid of Florence, one Diana, to beware of the allurements of one Count Basilian. Lascivious boy, but for all that, very rustic. I can put that again.
May I read it first, by your favor?
My meaning is, I confess, was very honest to the maid, for I knew the Count to be a dangerous, lascivious boy that is a whale to virginity and devours up all the fry it finds.
Damnable both sides road.
When he swears oaths, bid him drop gold and take it. After he scores, he never pays the score. Half won is match well made. Match and well make it. He ne'er pays after debt, take it before. And say a soldier, Dian told thee this, men are to mell with boys, are not to kiss. For Count on
friend, sir, the manifold linguist and omnipotent soldier.
I could endure anything before, but a cat, and now he's a cat.
I perceive, sir, by the general's looks, we shall be fain to hang you.
Oh, Lord, sir, my life, in any case. Oh, let me live. In the stocks, in the dungeon, or anywhere that I may live.
We'll see what may be done, so you confess freely. Therefore, once more to this Captain Dumaine. You have spoken to his reputation, to his valor. What is his honesty?
Oh, sir, he will steal an egg out of a cloister. He will lie, sir, with such volubility. You would think truth was a fool. His best virtue is drunkenness, for he will be wine drunk. And in his sleep he knows little harm, save to his bedclothes. But they know his condition, and they lay him in straw. I can say little more to his honesty. He has everything an honest man should not have. What an honest man should have, he has nothing. I forgive you, but it's for this description of thine honesty. It's some form of rarity for these. Pox on him, he's a cat still.
What is his brother, the other Captain Dumaine?
Why does he ask you of me?
What's he?
E'en a crow of the same nest. He is not so great as the first in goodness, but greater a great deal in evil. He excels his brother for a coward, yet his brother is reputed one of the best there is. In retreat, he outruns any lackey. Marry, in coming on, he has the cram.
If your life be saved, will you undertake to betray the Florentine?
And the captain of his horse, Count Marsilian.
We'll whisper with the general and know his pleasure.
I'll no more drumming. A plague of all drums. Only to seem to deserve well and to beguile the supposition of that lascivious boy. Count have I run into these perils. Yet, who would have suspected an ambush where I was taken?
There is no remedy, sir, but you must die. Our general says you, who have so victoriously discovered his army's secrets and made such pestiferous reports of men very nobly held, can serve no honest purpose to the world. Therefore, you must die.
Oh.
Come, headsman, off with his head!
Oh, Lord, sir, let me live. Or let me see my death.
That shall you. Take your leave of all your friends. So, look about you. Know you any here?
Oh, good morrow, noble captain.
God bless you, Captain Parolles.
God save you, noble captain.
Captain, what greeting will you to my lord of you? I am for France.
Good captain, will you give me a copy of the sonnet you writ to Diana on behalf of the Count Marsilian? And were I not a very coward, I compel it of you. But fare you well.
You are undone, Captain. All but your scarf that has a knot on it yet. Fare you well, sir. I am for France, too. We shall speak of you there.
Yet, I am thankful. If my heart were great, it would burst at this. Captain, I'll be no more. Yet I shall eat and drink and sleep as soft as Captain shall. Simply the thing I am will make me live. Who knows himself a braggart, let him hear this. For every braggart shall be found an ass. Rust, sword, cool, blushes, and Parolles live. Safest in shame, being fooled by foolery thrive. There's place and means for every man alive. I'll act with him.
Father.
But you may well perceive I have not wronged you. One of the greatest in the Christian world shall be my surety, for whose throne 'tis needful ere I can perfect my content to kneel. Time was I did her desire on, as dear almost as her life. I duly am informed, her grace makes for resilience, to which place we have convenient convoy. You must know, I am supposed dead. The army breaking, my husband hired home, where heaven aiding and with the leave of my good liege the queen, will be before I welcome.
Gentle madam, you never had a servant to whose trust your business was more welcome.
Nor you, sir, ever a friend whose thoughts more truly labor to recompense your love. Doubt not, but that heaven hath brought me up to be your daughter's dower, as it hath fated her to be my motive and helper to a husband. To those strange men that can such sweet use make of what they hate. Have more of this hereafter. You, Diana, through my poor instructions, yet must suffer something in my behalf.
Let death and honesty go with your impositions. I am yours, upon your will to suffer.
We must away. Our wagon is prepared, and time is idle. All's well that ends well. Still, finds the crown. Whate'er the course, the end is the renown.
No. Your son was misled with a sniff cap at the fellow there. Your daughter-in-law was alive at this hour, and your son here at home. Or vouched for the queen and by that red-tailed humblebee I have become.
I would I had not known him. It was the death of the most virtuous gentlewoman that ever nature had praised for creating.
'Twas a good lady. 'Twas a good lady.
We may pick 1,000 salads ere we light on such another herb. Indeed, she was the sweet marjoram, or rather the herb of grace.
Whether dost thou profess thyself, a knave or a fool?
A fool, sir, at a woman's service, and a knave at a man's.
Your distinction?
I would cozen the man of his wife and do his service.
Oh, you were a knave in his service, indeed.
And I would give his wife my bauble to do her service.
I will subscribe for thee. Thou art both knave and fool.
At your service.
Oh, no, go thy ways. I begin to be weary of you, and I tell thee so before, because I would not fall out with you. Go thy ways, let my horses be well looked at.
I am no great Nebuchadnezzar. I have not much skill in grass.
A shrewd knave and an unhappy.
So he is. My lord that Tsar made himself much sport out of him. By his authority he remains here, which he thinks is a patent for his haughtiness. Indeed, he runs where he will.
I like him well, and 'tis not amiss. And I was about to tell you, when since I heard of the good lady's death, and that my lord your son was upon his return home, I moved the queen, my mistress, to speak in behalf of my daughter, which in the minority of them both, her majesty out of a self-gracious remembrance did first propose. Her majesty promised me to do it, and to stop up the displeasure she has conceived against your son. There is no bitter matter. How is your ladyship from it?
With very much content, my lord, and I wish it happily infected.
Her highness comes in post from Paris, of as able body as when she numbered 30.
It rejoices me that I hope I shall see her. I have letters that my son will be here tonight. I shall beseech your lordship to remain with me till they meet together.
Madam, I was thinking with what manners I might safely get visit.
Oh, madam, yonder is my lord your son with a patch of velvet on his face. Whether there be a scorned or no, the velvet knows, but 'tis a goodly patch of velvet.
Let us go see your son. I pray you. I long to talk with you, noble soldier.
Good Master Lavache, give my lord Lafeu this letter. I have ere now been better known to you when I have held familiarity with pressure of clothes. But I am now muddied in fortune's mood and smell somewhat strong of her strong displeasure.
Truly, sir, fortune is but sluttish if she smells so strongly as thou speakst of. I will henceforth ne'er eat a fish of fortune's buttering. Prithee, allow the wind.
Nay, sir, you need not hold your nose. I spake but by metaphor.
Indeed, if your metaphors stink, I'll hold my nose, or against any man's metaphor. Prithee, get thee further.
I pray you, deliver me this paper.
Prithee, stand away. A paper from Fortune's clothes stool to give to a nobleman. Look, here he comes himself. Here's a purr of Fortune, sir, or of Fortune's cap, that hath fallen into the unclean fish pond of her displeasure, and is, as he says, muddied withal. Pray use your carp as you may, for he looks like a poor, decayed, ingenious, foolish, rascally knave.
I do pity his distress in my similes of comfort, and leave him to your lordship.
I am a man, my lord, whom fortune hath cruelly scratched.
What would you have me to do? 'Tis too late to pare her nails now. There's a courtesy for you. Let the justices make you and Fortune friends. I am for other business.
I beseech your worship to hear me a single word.
You beg a single penny more? Come, you shall have it.
My name, my lord, is Parolles.
Cost my passion. Give me your hand. How does your drum?
Good my lord. It lies in you to bring me in some grace, for you did bring me out.
Out upon thee, knave. Wouldst thou put upon me both the office of God and the devil? One brings thee in grace, the other brings thee out. The queen's coming. Inquire further after thee. I had talked to you last night. Though you are a fool and a knave, you shall eat. Go to, follow.
I thank God for you, sir.
We lost you too, Laverne, and our esteem was made much poorer by it. But your son is mad in folly, lacked the sense to know her estimation.
'Tis past, my liege, and I beseech your majesty to make it natural rebellion, done in the blade of youth when oil and vinegar too strong for reason's force o'erbears it and burns on.
My honored lady, I have forgiven and forgotten all, though my revenges were hard bent upon him and watched the time to shoot.
This I must say, but first I beg your pardon. The young lord did to his queen, his mother and his lady, offense of mighty note. But to himself, the greatest wrong of all. He lost a wife, whose beauty did astonish the survey of richest eyes, whose words all ears took captive, whose dear perfection, hearts that scorn to serve, humbly called.
Praising what is lost makes the remembrance dear. Well, call him hither. We are reconciled, and the first view shall kill all repetition. Let him not ask our pardon. The nature of his great offense is dead, and deeper than oblivion we do bury the insensing relics of it. Let him approach a stranger, no offender, and inform him such as our will he should.
I shall, my liege.
What says he to your daughter as you spoke?
All that he is has reference to your highness.
Then we shall have a match. I have letters sent me that sets him high in faith.
He looks well on.
I am not a day of season, for thou mayst see a sunshine and a hail in me at once. But to the brightest beams distracted clouds give way. So stand thou forth, the time is fair again.
My high repentant reigns, dear sovereign, pardon to me.
All is whole. Not one word more of the consumed time. Let's take the instant by the forward top. For we are old, and on our quick decrees inaudible and noiseless foot of time steals their weak of affection. You remember the daughter of this lord?
Admiringly, my liege.
At first I struck my choice upon her. Ere my heart durst make too bold the herald of my tongue, where the impression of mine eye in fixing contempt his formal perspective did lend me, which warped the line of every other favor to a most hideous object. Then it came that she whom all men praised, and whom myself, since I have lost, have loved, was in mine eye the dust that did offend it.
Well excused. That thou didst love her strikes some scores away from the great compt. Our rash faults make trivial price of serious things we have, not knowing them until we know their grave. Oft our displeasure to ourselves unjust destroy our friends and afterwards their dust. Be this sweet Helen's knell, and now forget her. Send forth your amorous token to fair Maudlin. The main consents are had, and here we'll stay to see our widower's second marriage day.
Come on, my son, in whom my house's name must be digested. Give a favor from you, to sparkle in the spirit of my daughter, that she may quickly come. By my old beard and every hand that's on it, Helen that's dead was a sweet creature. Such a ring as this. The last of ere I took her leave at court, I saw upon her finger.
Hers it was not.
Now pray let me see it, for mine eye was from speaking off was fastened to it. This ring was mine, and when I gave it Helen, I bade her, if her fortune never stood necessity to help, that by this token I would relieve her. Have you that craft to reave her of what should stead her most?
My gracious sovereign, however pleases you take it so, the ring was never hers.
Son, on my life I have seen her wear it, and she reckoned it at her life's rate.
I'm sure I saw her wear it.
You are deceived, my lord. She never saw it. In Florence, was it from a casement thrown to me, wrapped in paper, which contained the name of her that threw it. Noble she was, and thought I stood engaged, but I informed her fully I could not answer in that course of honor as she had made the overture. She ceased in heavy satisfaction, and never would receive the ring again.
'Twas mine. 'Twas Helen's, whoever gave it you. Then if you know that you are well acquainted with yourself, confess with hers, and by what rough enforcement you got it from her. She did call a 60 surety that you would never put it from her finger, unless you gave it to yourself in bed, where you have never come, or sent it us upon her great disaster.
She never saw it.
Thou speakest it falsely, as I love mine honor, and makes conjecture of this to come into me, which I would fain shut out. If it should prove that thou art so in you, 'twill not prove so. And yet I know not. Thou didst hate her deadly, and she is dead. Which nothing but to close her eyes myself would win me to believe more than to see this ring. Take him away! We'll stick this matter further.
If you shall prove this ring was ever hers, you shall as easily prove my husband in her bed in Florence, where yet she never was.
Away with him! I am wrapped in distant thinking. My poor past proves, however, the matter falls up back my fears with little remedy. And in vainly fear too little.
Gracious sovereign, here's a petition from a lady Florentine who had 4 or 5 removes come short to tender it herself. Her business looks in her with an important visage, and she told me in a sweet verbal brief, it does concern your highness with herself. Upon his many protestations to marry me when his wife was dead, I blush to say it, he won me. Now with the Count of Cillian, a widower, his vows are forfeited to me, and my honors paid to him. He stole from Florence, taking no leave, and I follow him to his country for
Have thought well on thee, Lafeu, to bring forth this discovery. Seek Theseus, go speedily, and bring again the Count. I am afeard for life when Helen Lady was public snatched.
Now justice on the doers.
I wonder, sir, since wives are monsters to you, and that you fly them as you swear their lordship give you, desire to marry. What woman's that?
I am, my lord, a wretched Florentine derived from the ancient capitalist. My suit, as I do understand, you know, and therefore know how far I may be pitied.
I am her father, whose age and honor both suffer under this complaint we bring, and both shall cease without the remedy.
Come hither, Count. Do you know this woman?
My liege, I neither can or will deny but that I know her. Does she charge me further?
Why do you look so strange upon your wife?
She's none of mine, my liege.
If you shall marry, you give away this hand, and that is mine. You give away heaven's vows, and those are mine. You give away myself, which is known mine, for as I vow am so embodied yours, that she that marries you must marry me, either both or none.
My liege, this is a fond and desperate creature, who sometime I have laughed with. Let your highness lay a more noble thought upon mine honor than to think that I would sink it here.
Sir, from my thoughts, you have them ill to friend till your deeds gain them. They are prove your honor than in my thought it lies.
Good my lady, ask him upon his oath. He does think he hath not my virginity.
What sayest thou?
She's impudent, my liege, and was a common gamester to the camp.
He does me wrong, my lady. If I were so, he might have bought me at a common price. Do not believe him. No, behold this ring, whose high respect and rich validity did lack a parallel. Yet for all that, he gave it to a commoner of the camp if I be one.
He blushes at his hit. Of 6 preceding ancestors, that gem hath been owed and worn. This is his wife. That brings 1,000 proofs.
Methought you said you saw one here in court could witness it.
I did, my lady, but loath I am to produce so bad an instrument. His name is Parolles.
Sign it and bring him.
Oh, what of him? He's quoted for a most perfidious slave, whose nature would sicken but to speak the truth. Am I or that or this, for what he'll utter that will speak anything?
She hath that ring of yours.
I think she has. Certain it is that I liked her, and boarded her in the wanton way of youth. She knew her distance, and did angle for me, manning my eagerness with her restraint, and in fine, her infinite cunning and modern grace subdued me to her rate. She got the ring, and I had that which any inferior might at market price have bought.
I must be patient. You that have turned off a first so noble wife may justly die at me. I pray you yet, send for your ring. I will return it home, and give me mine again.
I have it not.
What ring was yours, I pray you?
Lady, much like that thing upon your finger.
Know you this ring? This ring was his of late.
And this it was I gave him, being a bed.
The story then goes false. You threw it in under the casement.
I spoke the truth.
My liege, I do confess the ring was hers.
You bubble shrewdly. Every feather starts you. Is this the man you speak of?
I'm Lily.
Tell me, sirrah. But tell me true, I charge you, not fearing the displeasure of your master, which on your just proceeding I'll keep off. By him and by this woman here, what know you?
My master hath been an honorable gentleman. Tricks he hath had in him, which gentlemen have.
Now come to the purpose. Did he love this woman?
Harry, he did love her. But how?
How? I pray you.
Wait, as a gentleman loves a woman.
How is that?
Well, he loved her, and he loved her not.
As thou art a knave and no knave, what equivocal companion is this?
I am a poor man, your majesty, and at your command.
He's a good gun, your liege, but a naughty orator.
Do you know he promised me marriage?
Faith, I know more than I'll speak.
But wilt thou not speak all thou knowest?
Yes, so please, your majesty. I did go between them, as I said, and moreover, he was aware, for he was of Satan and the bow and the fury, and I was then in that Christendom that I knew of their going to bed, and of other motions, as promising her marriage, things which would burden me ill will to speak of, and so I will not speak what I know.
Thou hast spoken all already, unless thou canst say they are married. But thou art too fine in thy evidence, therefore stand aside. This ring you say was yours.
I'm a good lady.
Where did you buy it? Who gave it to you?
It was not given me, nor I did not buy it.
Who lent it you?
It was not lent me neither.
Where did you find it then?
I found it not.
If it were yours by none of all these ways, how could you give it him?
I never gave it him.
This woman's an easy glove, my liege. She goes off and on at pleasure.
This ring was mine. I gave it his first one.
It might be yours or hers for aught I know.
Take her away! I do not like her now. Away with her and away with him! Unless thou tells me where thou hast this ring thou diest within this hour.
I'll never tell you.
Away with her!
I'll put him down, my lady. not. Great Queen, I am no strumpet. By my life, I am either maid or else this old man's wife.
She does abuse our ears.
To prison with fire! Father, fetch my veil. Stay, royal lady. The jeweler knows the ring is sent for, and he shall shortly me. But for this lord, who hath abused me as he knows himself, though yet he never harmed me, here I put him. He knows himself my bed he hath defiled, and at that time he got his wife with child. Dead though she be, she feels her young one kick. So there's my riddle. One that's dead is quick. And now, behold the meaning.
Is there no exorcist beguiles the truer office of mine eyes? Is real, I see.
No, my good liege. 'Tis but the shadow of a wife to see the name and not the thing.
Both. Oh, pardon.
Oh, my good lord. When I was like this maid, I found you wondrous kind. There's your ring. And look you, here's your letter. This it says. When from my finger you can get this ring. And are by me with child. This is done. Will you be mine while you are governed one?
If she, my liege, can make me know this clearly, I'll love her dearly. Ever, ever dearly.
If it appear not plain and prove untrue, deadly divorce step between me and you. Oh, dear mother, do I see you living?
But I smell onions. I shall weep and die. Good time come, let me have So I said, wait on me and hold out, make sport with me. At least I can see you love you. Yes, good.
Let us from point to point this story know, to make the even true in pleasure flow. If thou be yet crushed on profit flower, choose thou thy husband, and I'll pay thy dower. For I can guess that by thy honest aid thou kept a wife herself, thyself a maid. Of that and other progress, more or less, resolvedly more leisure shall express. All yet seems well. And if it ends so meet, the bitter past, more welcome is the sweet.
Lord's a beggar. Now the play is done. All is well ended, if this suit be won, that you express content, which we will pay you day exceeding day. Ours be your patience then, and yours our parts. Your gentle hands lend us, and take our hearts.